Our physical body needs to be nourished by the very elements it's made of: water, earth, and air. It makes perfect sense. If the body doesn't receive these, it weakens and eventually fails. But is that all we are? Just a physical body? The answer is no, because the body is just a garment worn by something deeper, our soul. And just like the body, the soul also needs nourishment of its own kind. Now, some may say, I don't believe in the soul. But let's pause and reflect. If we are purely physical beings, how do we explain dreams? In a dream, you experience places and events, but your body never moved. So, who was experiencing it? If we call that an illusion, then how can we be so sure that this waking life isn't also an illusion? After all, both feel equally real. Even when we imagine things vividly, we feel something. Does that make it false? Or is it pointing us to something deeper? All of this leads us to one insight. We are not just bodies. We are also souls. And if we accept that, we must ask, what does the soul need to survive and flourish? Our soul, as many traditions say, is a drop from the divine ocean. God is its origin. Just as the body needs material elements to grow, the soul needs something eternal, because it comes from eternity. It needs truth, beauty, justice, kindness, wisdom, love, and awareness. These are divine qualities. They are the true food of the soul. And if the soul is deprived of this nourishment, we see the results: anxiety, confusion, despair, emptiness. Just like a starving body, the soul becomes sick when ignored. It's important to understand the soul is not made of matter, so its nourishment isn't material either. It comes through attention and awareness. Whatever we focus our consciousness on becomes part of our inner world. That's why your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions matter deeply. And just like food can be healthy or harmful, the soul also faces influences, some nourishing, some toxic. Our intellect must help us choose what feeds us in the right way. Here is a key example. If someone believes death is the end, life can feel meaningless. But if they believe in the soul's continuity, it brings a sense of purpose. That belief itself becomes a kind of a spiritual food. But this belief should not be blind. It must be built on honest reflection and inner seeking. When we search for truth with sincerity, we nourish the soul in the deepest way. And that act becomes a form of worship itself. Now, let's ask, what is prayer? Prayer is the soul turning back to its source. It's the nourishment of the drop from the ocean, our effort to reconnect with the divine. Through prayer, we move toward the one who is the origin of all power, knowledge, love, and life. And what's the sign of a true prayer? It's inner peace. Just as food brings satiety to the body, true prayer brings lightness and fulfillment to the soul. Is prayer a one-time act? No. Just as eating is regular, so is prayer. But the form and frequency of prayer must match each person's soul. Just as bodies differ in their needs, so do souls. Does prayer require a specific time, place, or language? Again, no. God is not confined. Prayer can happen anytime, anywhere, in any language, even in silence, if it comes from the heart. Unfortunately, religion sometimes ties prayer to specific forms, times, or languages. But God, who created all languages and hearts, hears the essence, not just the ritual. Do we need to physically prostrate? only if that act comes from a deep awareness of God's greatness. True devotion can't be forced, it must rise from understanding. Each person, on their journey of discovering the self and the divine, will naturally be guided to the form of prayer that suits them. And just because one form works for us doesn't mean others are wrong. Truth is not rigid, it adapts to the sincere heart. So, what's the essence of all this? Prayer is connection, it's nourishment, it's the soul returning to its source. We may feel distant, but regular connection, however imperfect, will always bring change. Always. We need God. And the most beautiful truth is, God is always eager for our return.
The content you just listened to is part of the teachings of Sayyid Saeed Tagavi Zadeh in the field of theology and the pursuit of true happiness. These teachings are interconnected, so many of the unclear points will become clearer in the upcoming episodes. For this reason, it is important to follow the series from the beginning in order to fully benefit from its inner value. Additionally, there will be separate programs dedicated to answering frequently asked questions. Until the next episode, goodbye and may God be with you.